one of the dangers, right, of letting yourself feel too much pain, right, is the fact that if you get overwhelmed by the pain, you might throw your Yiddishkeit overboard and head for the nearest, you can fill in the blank, near whatever it is that tempts you, right? Whether it's, whether it's a bar or a disco or an ashram, whatever it may be. Right? And this is something Chazal tells us, that even David HaMelech, when he was suffering, he himself, David HaMelech, contemplated leaving it all behind. Right? So when Rabbi Nachman tells us, Liba Simcha Tamid, it's not because he's ignoring the pain, and not because he's saying the pain doesn't exist, but because we have to deal with it. Right? Now, when we were younger and didn't know any better, Simcha probably constituted something very simple. It constituted mommy and daddy giving you something. It constituted getting something. And as you grew up, that something become more sophisticated, more expensive, right? But the constant theme of most happiness, what people expect will make them happy, is that they'll receive something, right? The Rebbe says, if you want to be happy, you have to be proactive. You have to take your pain and turn it into something positive. But I'm really getting way off topic here. Where do you go? What happened to the music?
Is there a fan setting? Is there a fan?
Adjust the temperature.
It's on low. Is that better?
I'm good. On this whole topic, I recently received a couple of emails. One from a single man, one from a single woman. And the lady who emailed me, so she wrote to me how many times can she go through the same sort of thing. She's an American woman, and she's living now in Eretz Yisrael. And says the search and the wait is extremely difficult and painful. How many more brachas does she have to go for? How many more rabbanim does she have to see? How many more skulos? Right? How many more 40 days of this or 40 days of that? Right? Does she have to go through? Right? I just came back from California before Shabbos, stayed with a friend, 39-year-old man. And he says, what did it get me? What's it gotten me? As a side point, I just want to give the Breslover view, right? Let's share the Breslover view on Skulot, right? Where's Skulot? Okay. Just about there, so we already know what that was. Skula is, You didn't mention it. You didn't mention it either. I'm sort of a professional translator and editor, right? So school is one of the really hard words we have difficult. We have a lot of difficulty with. A skula can be translated as a lucky charm. Exactly, fancy word that nobody knows, so we can never use it. Right? That's one I always want to use. Because they tell me, no, nobody knows what that is. Right?
What was the word?
Talisman, Talisman. Right? That's what a school is. All sorts. Light a candle for 40 days in the matter of Rabbi Malka, Perik Shira, Nishmas. Right? The Breslev view on these sort of things is Judaism is not voodoo. There is a natural tendency to have this sort of mystical or supernatural something or other, but you can go meshuggah from trying to do all these skulas. Don't bother. There's something much better, much more powerful. If right? But again, within reason, we are human beings. We do like these sorts of things, and so, but not to go overboard, and certainly not to put too much stock in them, and certainly not to be disappointed at all if they don't work, or if they don't seem to work. Right? But there's something much more powerful, right, than any skula, right? And that's tefillah, right? Davening. Now, I told you before, I'm not giving any mussar, right? And I can sum up every mussar shmooze that you probably ever heard or might ever hear in 2 words. Be frum. Right? That's it. Bottom line, be frum. There's more to it. But I want to ask you first, again, by show of hands, how many people here still really, really believe in the koyach hatfilah, and that davening, that praying to Hashem works? Okay. Much better than I expected. Maybe I should raise my hand first. There's a statue down in Tulane, the University of New Orleans. There's somebody else's deity going like this, and they call him the touchdown J. Okay. Rabbi Nachman said of himself, Gor mein Zach is davening. My entire mission is prayer. The Rebbe was a huge believer in the power of tefillah, the power of prayer. Right? And we have to talk about that, because that's really, really our connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom, to the Creator. Tefillah is not the crutch of the weak and helpless, despite what people think, despite the attitudes of those who believe in God, right? And despite the attitudes of those who don't. Tefillah is the all-purpose tool of those who want to make the world better. Right? Tefillah is not a letter addressed to your rich uncle to help you out. It's not a gimme list. Right? Although we do and we must ask for everything in our life. Right? So the purpose is not to get what we want. The purpose of tefillah, in fact, getting what we want is certainly not